Last week, a Superior Court judge rejected Manhattan Beach's ban on plastic carryout bags.
I was really hoping for question 6. I had a great answer for that one.
You wanted that other question. See, I thought I'd better throw that one out. Once I heard you guys had been following their script, I decided.
Just to be clear, real quick, I won't take the full 2 minutes on this question, so I just want to say regarding the hotel tax, other coastal communities like Del Mar has a 13% hotel tax. Santa Monica has a 14% hotel tax. I think LA does as well. Yeah. So I think Manhattan Beach having a 12.5% tax, with a 2.5% increase that could raise $1 million, isn't such a bad idea in the time we're in. That's my belief. As far as this plastic bag ban, my opinion, I think the judge was wrong. I'm for the plastic bag ban. I think Manhattan Beach has been a leader in environmental issues for quite some time now. I think the bag ban was a step in the right direction. The judge's opinion was that there should have been an impact survey done. Maybe that's correct. But the fact of the matter is, I think we've all known since we were kids, plastic bags, styrofoam, all these sorts of things leave a carbon footprint on our environment. They're bad for the environment. They're bad for pretty much everything that happens. But plastic bags, it's a big industry. They got a lot of money. I wouldn't advise fighting them at this time. But it's something that's going to happen in the long run. That'll be done. What can we do for future? I think we can move into solar power. I think energy audit that Wayne brought up earlier is a brilliant idea. I'd like to see us moving more solar. We can save a lot of money. I wouldn't mind if we generated our own power. The government's looking to give out all kinds of rebates and incentives and tax breaks and for homeowners who want to put solar up. I think we should encourage that, and I think our city government should look at installing solar panels on our facilities and other things as well. 15 seconds to go. Thank you very much. Looking forward to the closing.
Those of you who didn't have the opportunity to attend the State of the City address, I think we did talk about 2 basic things. The first, that we did request, we are doing an energy audit. That's one of the consultants you heard about. It's energy audit. We have to do that because no one on staff can do that kind of a background or profession. So it's called energy audit to help all of our buildings. And second, we did ask for a green stimulus package apart from the other package that will come and look at solar. As one of my goals was to put solar-powered streetlights out there. My council's probably getting tired of me saying that, but it's one of our goals to look at. The second part of the money will look at putting solar, now it's this thin, on top of our public buildings. So we are moving that way. We've been doing that way for the last 2 years. So now it's continuing on. The only problem is one thing, money. Other part of it, talking about this voluntary compliance of the bags. Everybody forgets the idea was to move it forward. We're receiving voluntary compliance already, you guys, even through education. Even the little kids today at Grandview Elementary, they know where bags go. They don't even bring bags. Why? They have these recyclable lunch boxes. I wish I could open one up, I'd show you, but they're developed by a Grandview mom that all you do is use these every single time. No more trash, no more thrown away. They use these every single day. So the idea that our bag bin isn't working, let's see. CVS, Skechers Worldwide, Target stores, Fresh and Easy, Ralph's, Vons, all those are already in compliance. They participated in our ban. They're already way ahead of us. They saw what was going on and made those moves. They're not going to go backwards. So the ban, maybe the judge is wrong in saying that, okay, do the EIR. But he never said the city can't do this. I'm just requesting an EIR report. That's it. So our goal is to move it forward, continue what we're doing, even with voluntary compliance, move away from plastic to reusable bags, and by that we're still going to get to our goal. Thank you.
I disagree with Peter. I actually think the judge did make the right decision, and I want to explain why. But before I do that, I want to also point out that growing up in New Jersey, I grew up on the Jersey Shore, so I effectively traded one ocean for another. But I saw firsthand as a teenager how ocean pollution can devastate the way of life of a community, a coastal community, when hypodermic needles and medical waste were washing up on the shores in the town where I went to the beach. That devastated the economy. And there it's seasonal. It's 3 months out of the year, and that didn't recover for years. And it's not just an economic issue, but it's also a place where people could go and play and enjoy themselves, families. It couldn't go there anymore. So why did I agree with the judge's decision? I'm not against the ban in theory. However, as an attorney, I have an obligation, and part of my job at Northrop Grumman is to reduce risk of lawsuits. And I would have liked to have seen, and I thought the judge ruled appropriately, that we needed to have a full EIR completed, a full environmental impact report. That's important because it's not just about banning the plastic bags, it's about increased consumption of paper bags. You know, Richard, I agree with, and I think one of the best side effects of this ban, the ordinance, is that we have seen an increase in voluntary compliance. We bring our reusable bags to the grocery store, to Target, whenever we go shopping. We try to use reusable bags as much as possible, but we're still going to have people who will be using paper bags. And what the EIR would indicate is whether or not, as a result of banning plastic bags, we might suffer more consequences, more negative consequences, because of the increased use of paper bags. Not just the waste that is generated when you throw them out, but the waste that's generated, the energy that's consumed in creating them in the first place. So I'd like to see the EIR completed. If it supports the plastic bag ban ordinance, then I'd like to see it move forward.
As a volunteer at Pennycamp School, I've observed the Planet Pals children, and wow, they know more about green, environmental friendly practices than us grown-ups, and it's great. It's a great program. I've also seen the Grandview Planet Pals people. I'm very proud of our city being on the cutting edge of green environmental sustainability. I'm very proud of what we've done on the Planning Commission. We approved the first green, sustainable, LEED Silver certified building in our city. It's great. We love being in the news, being on the cutting edge. However, I draw the line on the plastic bag ban. Not in principle to ban plastic bags, but the timing. The city was forewarned that they would be sued by the plastic bag manufacturing entity. Well, if you know you're going to be sued, and they have sued, why expose the city to costly, expensive litigation? Certainly now, when we have a budget shortfall. In this case, we should have let some other city go through the litigation process, let it be vetted in the courts, and then let them do the EIR, the Environmental Impact Study. Let them incur the cost, and then we can go forward with the program. But there are other things. You know, we're concerned about the deleterious effects on our ocean, the plastic going into the landfills, but there's other things like styrofoam, many other bad materials. What we really need to do is have stormwater diversion practices like other cities, where all of the waste gets diverted and it's brought back into either the recycling, reclamation process, or into our sewage treatment process. There are a lot of things like that where you should attack the source, not the actual item, and that's what I would do if I were on city council.
Enlighten you, Wayne, and people here why we move forward, because a lobbyist organization is not going to stop us from doing the right thing. As mayor, I signed the climate protection agreement that committed us to reduce greenhouse gases, that set the stage for now a comprehensive commitment by our council to be one of the greenest communities in the state of California. But we're doing it not just because it protects the environment, but also because it's cost effective. And what we did here on plastic ban was very cost effective. We did get sued. It's cost us $2,000. That's it. And that's just expenses because it was handled by our in-house attorney. We knew that was what was going to happen. But along the way, what we've done is now gotten voluntary compliance by CVS Pharmacy, and so we've already accomplished a part of our objective. We've gotten voluntary compliance by the kettle, which helps a little bit, and we've got voluntary compliance by Skechers, and so we've already had an impact. We also have Ralph's, we have Vons, we have Bristol Farms, and Fresh and Easy participating in, on Sunday, what we're doing is an educational in terms of reusable bags, and they're contributing. All this has had an impact for $2,000. Now, how do we make it more cost-effective going forward? What we're doing is, and what we're going to be talking about at council, is that Santa Monica is moving forward with the environmental impact report, and so guess what? We're going to let them go and not spend any money ourselves and see what happens. But along the way, what we can do for $2,000 is appeal it and just wait. And so it's going to be 18 months to 2 years. It's going to take time. But it's going to take time even if we did an environmental impact report, because it'll do that, and then it's going to be challenged by this lobbyist that the last thing I want to do is have a lobbyist tell me what we're supposed to be doing. And so we are doing it, again, to protect the environment. We've had an impact. The New York Times today just reported about our bag ban, and then to encourage other cities to do the exact same thing. We're having an impact, and it hasn't cost us much money. we're doing the right thing, not listen to a lobbyist organization when we're up there at City Council to try to protect our community.